Good morning guys, welcome back and welcome to the first video in my mini series about making my own backpacking gear. And today I'm going to make a little project which I think is great for a beginner sewer just like me. So also for you, because it is a project that doesn't require a lot of techniques. You do not have to work with zippers or anything. It's just some basic sewing and putting a cord through your material. So that's basically it. And then I am talking about a stuff sack, and this is a complete kit that I bought at the shop Ripstop by the Roll. They offer a lot of complete kits which are absolutely great for beginners, because you get everything together in one little package. So you know that you have exactly the right materials to work with. The fabric itself is pre-cut, so you do not have to worry about that as well. So let's take a look at the inside of this kit. So let's open this up, and then the first thing in here is the dyneema fabric. I decided to go for the size medium. You can also choose a small or a large. And then I am getting this piece of dyneema fabric. I'm also getting a cord lock. I'm getting some tape for the seams to seal, so it stays extra waterproof, and there's also a protective layer of the dyneema, because dyneema is obviously very fragile stuff, so this will be added later as well. And here is the cord to put through. So as you can see, this is all you need, not much. So let's start with the process. Then I'm switching over to the table and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. So I have the dyneema folded out on the table. Make sure that your long side is on the bottom, and then the short sides obviously are on the both sides. What you are going to do is you are going to fold the fabric, corners nicely attached to each other, and make sure that you flatten the seam here with your fingers, so you have a nice straight seam on it as well. So that makes it easier when you go out for stitching. So this is basically the shape of my stuff sack. And what I'm now going to do is, this side is already closed. So I'm going to stitch the bottom side and this side. So the top here stays open, and then I'm going to continue to the next process. But that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to use a basic straight stitch with a seam allowance of about 1/2 inch. So how much is that in centimeters? About 1.25 centimeters. So let's go to the sewing machine. So on my machine I have my thread, and my bobbin is down here. I have some extra thick thread which is especially made for these kind of materials. You can also get them in different kind of thicknesses and different kind of colors at Ripstop by the Roll. I'm going to put my stitching just on the basic one. As you can see here, just a straight line, nothing special. I leave that all in the basic setting, and then I'm going to stitch everything up. So as you can see, I have clipped everything together, so that makes sure that my fabric does not move during stitching. And when you start stitching, always go back a few stitches to secure your thread, so it doesn't come loose when you're using your stuff. When you're not sure about yourself with stitching straight yet, then it's always good to align the zipper foot with the edge of your fabric, so then you have a sort of a guidance to sew straight. And when I'm all the way down, going all the way to the end, and then back stitch about 3 stitches again. So that's the bottom. Make sure the needle is up. You can remove it, then cut it off. And we do the same at the bottom, and then we'll get back to the table. So now, as you can see, it's stitched over here. and all the way down here. And I used quite a bright color of thread because I like the contrast, but make sure that you always have a thread that combines well with your fabric, or that you like that combines together, because you won't see a lot of it, but you always see a little bit. So that's really nice. What I like to do is making those contrasts. So now I'm going to fold the back inside out. And always make sure that you flatten everything completely out, also the corners, because you're always stitching things inside out, so you have to flip it back. So always take your time for that, because it will show at the end product. And some people use scissors for that. I have a little tool to put out the corners. Now you can see they are coming out really nice. So here you have it. What you can also do is, I'm skipping that right now because I do not think I need the extra waterproofing. But before you turn it inside out, you can also use the seam sealing tape on it. But I will show you that to you in a different project, because now I wanted to keep it as simple as I can for an absolute beginner thing. And the next step is that I'm going to fold a small seam in. And then I have to add the cord to it, so I can have the drawstring effect. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to sew in the thread as well. And then I will be back to you. So always make sure that when you're stitching on the edge, that you only stitch on one side of the fabric and do not lay this on top of it, because otherwise your back will be closed immediately, and that's not what we want. So I'm going to stitch all around it right now. And just take your time for it, because sewing is not about rushing, it's about completing nice products. So I'm going to stitch all around it, and then I'll get back to you. So as you can see, I've stitched all around it, and I have formed a canal for my string. So then all you have to do is cut this one to the right size. So a scissor would be good to have on hand. And what's also always good to do is to light them slightly, so they will hold their shape. So you're putting in the thread through the cord lock. Put a little knot at the end, or wherever you like, and your stuff sack is done. So this is the first project finished. The stuff sack, you can make them in every kind of sizes, and make sure that you get familiar with the fabric. I notice as well that I have not worked a lot with dyneema, so make sure that you don't pull on it too much. Let it just slide through your sewing machine and easily guide it, and then it's really nice stuff to work with, but you have to get used to it. So this is the first project of this mini series. See you in the next one. Goodbye.